Township Supervisors. I just wanted to read a few things on the Snee Bridge replacement. As you know, Mr. Barron is with me, Mr. Fritz, but Mr. Barron was appointed by Union Township as a representative of Peters Creek Sanitary Authority. My name is Rick Kovach. I'm the Peters Creek Sanitary Authority Manager. At the November 27, 2024 Board of Supervisors meeting for Union Township, Mr. Barner, another Union Township appointed PCA representative, spoke to you on the Snee Bridge importance. Tonight, I just want to reiterate that importance by recapping some information about providing you with more details to stress the importance of the Snee Bridge reconstruction by Union Township. Peters Creek Sanitary Authority is a multi-municipal authority which covers Fentonville Borough, Nottingham Township, Peters Township, Union Township, and we have about 30 customers in North Strabane Township. PCSA customer base count fluctuates from month to month. People come in and out of the system. As of October 31st, 2014 bill date, PCA had 4,629 active sewage accounts, 5,051 equivalent dwelling units, or what we call EDUs. As you know, not all Union Township residents have public sewer. But as of the November 30th, 2024 bill date, there was 1,614 Union Township customers that do have public sewer. PCA average daily flow from the entire PCA system registered at the PCSA master meter in 2023 registered at 1,284,868 gallons per day. The PCA system is identified with a PA Department Part 2 permit in 1971 at a maximum design capacity of 10.9 million gallons per day. The Snee Bridge is important to PCSA, and in my opinion, it should be just as important to Union Township. Across the Peters Creek, where the bridge no longer exists, there are 17 manholes, approximately 4,700 linear feet, or close to a mile, 24-inch intercept for sanitary sewer downstream on the former Snee Bridge. That takes all the flow from all the customer base throughout our system. Union Township is one of the Peters Creek Sanitary Authority member municipalities. Currently, the only access to PCA on the other side of the former Snee Bridge is to wade across the creek or walk the railroad tracks, beside the railroad tracks. So the other part is when we have to get a jet truck, if there happens to be a blockage, there's no way for that jet truck to get over on the other side of the Snee Bridge. It's not feasible. Also, the Clearance Authority, I think you know, that takes all our public sewer from our whole system, has a meter vault on the other side of the Snee Bridge. That's where CMA does their meter repairs, takes readings based on PCA customer treatment charge, rainfall, infiltration, etc. PCA pays for every drop of water through our system that goes through that billing meter. That's exactly why Peters Creek Sanitary Authority is in the business of removing groundwater infiltration, rainfall dependent infiltration and inflow. Because it's not only we pay for the customer flow usage, but all the other things from rainfall, groundwater infiltration, rainfall dependent infiltration and inflow. So every drop of water is metered through that meter. Peters Creek has to pay for every drop that goes through there. So depending on when an issue occurs, or if on the other side of the former Snee Bridge, will determine if the interceptor line and manhole as well as the billing meter would be affected. Depending on where the situation occurred. But if it occurred on that other side of the bridge, there's no access to take care of that problem. As you know, the former Snee Bridge is in the Union Township area, so the Union Township residents would be the first customers affected if we did have a backup. Because if the line keeps backing up, Union Township at the bottom of the system, and it just works its way up. Mr. Seiler, as a former Union Township Emergency Management Coordinator, started the process for Snee Bridge emergency plan. Afterwards, PCSA and Lennon Smith, or the PCA consulting engineer, and Eric is part of that, finalized drafting a plan requesting PCA board approval. On April 24, 2023, the PCA board of directors approved that plan to have something as a backup plan in place. Emergency plan was then distributed to a variety of agencies, such as the PCSA member municipalities, Peters Creek Interceptor Downstream Community, CMA, PADP, Washington County Planning Commission, Washington County Emergency Coordinators, state representatives, and more than that on that list. They all got a copy of that. But the ultimate goal naturally is to have the Snee Road Bridge replaced, not an emergency plan in place. That's a backup plan. If we have a blockage, we don't have much time to react to that. Also, Mr. Bernardo, the PCA solicitor, emailed a November 4th, 2024 letter to the Union Township Chairman and Union Township Supervisor, copying Mr. Makel regarding the importance of the Snee Road Bridge, informing all that he'd be happy to attend a meeting to discuss that importance. Mr. Makel, my understanding from Mr. Bernardo, had discussion with each other, but there's been really no response from Union Township in response to Mr. Bernardo's letter. Union Township requested an LSA statewide grant for the Snee Road Bridge. PCA was informed that the Union Township LSA statewide grant request was approved. So I'm here to encourage Union Township supervisors to use that grant money for the Snee Road Bridge for the benefit of Union Township, Peters Creek Sanitary, and all the PCSA customers. I thank the Union Township supervisors, solicitors, consultants for your consideration and time. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have.
So, first of all, we haven't got the contract for the grant yet.
Right.
I thought that Mr. Makel and Mr. Bernardo had a couple of phone calls after that letter, so I didn't want you to think that we were ignoring that letter. I think there was some verbal correspondence after that.
My suggestion is that it may be prudent to have a joint meeting to discuss this further. Does that make sense?
Really?
Yes. Yes, it does.
So, at one of the meetings a few months back, we kicked around the idea of, the possibility, because we had another need and whether or not the board might want to consider that. We've done nothing with that grant. We don't even have the grant yet. We've not approached trying to move that grant. It was merely kind of a conversation amongst the board of whether or not a different bridge was a more serious situation, but that's as far as it got. I know you guys got kind of excited about it, but that's as far as it got.
Well, I attended the November meeting, and my understanding from what I recollect was that Mr. Stevens was told to see if that was a possibility.
If it was even a possibility.
Yeah, and actually, when I was talking about not you receiving the grant, I only said I was notified.
Okay.
Because we did a list of everybody else, LSA statewide grant approved, and Union Township was on that list for Snee Road Bridge.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about. I'm not saying we signed a contract or anything.
Yeah, we haven't got the grant yet, but that's when that discussion happened. We said, well, before we discuss it any further, it might not even be a possibility to approve that grant. Let's check on that before we continue the conversation, but that's really as far as we even got with that.
Okay. And I have a couple other comments after the Snee Road Bridge on a couple other items that I'd like to, just reiterate real fast here. But Mr. Barron, as you know, is a Union Township representative. He wants to say a few words on behalf of a Snee Road Bridge replacement. Thank you. Thank you for your time.